Have you ever wondered why the JFK assassination still remains shrouded in mystery even after all these years? To understand this perplexing conundrum, let's take a trip back in time to November 22, 1963. The day started as any other, with President John F. Kennedy arriving in Dallas, Texas. The atmosphere was electric, filled with anticipation as the crowd awaited their charismatic leader. As the motorcade journeyed through Dealey Plaza, the air was thick with excitement. But in the blink of an eye, that excitement turned to horror. Shots rang out, and the president was fatally wounded. The nation, indeed the world, was plunged into shock and grief. Lee Harvey Oswald was soon arrested and named as the sole perpetrator. The Warren Commission, tasked with investigating the assassination, confirmed Oswald as the lone shooter. However, they were unable to determine his motive, leaving a gaping hole in the narrative. With such a high-profile assassination and a lack of clear motive, it wasn't long before the whispers of conspiracy began to circulate. People began to question the official story. How could Oswald, a nondescript former Marine, orchestrate such a monumental event on his own? Why would he commit such a heinous act without a clear motive? Was Oswald acting alone, or was he part of a larger, more sinister plot? These questions and more sparked the birth of countless conspiracy theories, each more intriguing than the last. But the story doesn't end with Oswald's arrest. The saga took an even darker turn when Jack Ruby, a Dallas nightclub owner, shot and killed Oswald just 2 days after JFK's assassination. This shocking event only served to fuel the fire of conspiracy theories, further muddying the waters of truth. So, the president was shot, Oswald was blamed, but the story doesn't end there. The mystery of JFK's assassination is just beginning, and as we delve deeper, you'll find that the truth may be stranger than fiction. In 1964, the Warren Commission released their report, but it left more questions than answers. The commission, led by Chief Justice Earl Warren, was tasked with the unenviable job of investigating the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. And what did they find? They concluded that Lee Harvey Oswald, acting alone, was responsible for the fatal shots that killed the president. But this conclusion, rather than calming the nation and providing answers, only seemed to ignite further speculation. Many started to question the commission's findings, their methods, and the evidence, or lack thereof, that they presented. Why did they conclude Oswald acted alone? The Warren Commission's report seemed to generate more questions than it answered. The public's skepticism and dissatisfaction with the official narrative began to grow. People were not convinced that Oswald, a former Marine who had defected to the Soviet Union and returned under suspicious circumstances, could have planned and executed the assassination by himself. The narrative seemed too simple, too clean, for such a monumental event that shook the nation to its core. Doubts were cast over the ballistic evidence, the infamous magic bullet theory, and Oswald's own murky background. The Warren Commission's report, instead of providing closure, seemed to have opened a Pandora's box of conspiracy theories, each more intricate and convoluted than the last. Was it a cover-up by the government? Was there a second shooter on the grassy knoll? Was the mafia involved? Was it a coup orchestrated by the military-industrial complex? The theories were as diverse as they were numerous, each fueled by a deep-seated dissatisfaction with the official narrative put forth by the Warren Commission. And thus, the seeds of doubt were sown, and conspiracy theories began to sprout. The Warren Commission's report, rather than ending the conversation about JFK's assassination, only served to fan the flames of intrigue and speculation. It marked the beginning of a long and winding journey into the world of conspiracy theories, a journey that continues to this day, capturing the imagination of millions around the world. Lee Harvey Oswald, the man blamed for it all, but was he really the lone gunman or just a patsy? Let's delve into the life of Lee Harvey Oswald, the man at the center of this mystery. Oswald was a former U.S. Marine who defected to the Soviet Union in 1959, only to return to the United States in 1962. He was a self-proclaimed Marxist, a detail that stirred many to question his motivations and possible connections to broader political machinations. In the immediate aftermath of the assassination, Oswald was apprehended not for the death of President Kennedy but for the fatal shooting of a Dallas police officer, J.D. Tippit. He denied both charges, famously declaring, "I'm just a patsy," during a press conference at the Dallas police headquarters. For those unfamiliar with the term, a patsy is someone who is easily manipulated or made to take the blame for actions they did not commit. Oswald's claim of being a patsy has been the cornerstone of many conspiracy theories postulating that he was set up to take the fall while the real perpetrators remained at large. Some theorists suggest Oswald was a scapegoat for a larger, more convoluted plot involving the mafia, the CIA, or even elements within the US government itself. Others posit that Oswald was indeed the shooter, but acted as part of a wider conspiracy, perhaps as an agent of the Soviet Union or Cuba. Despite the myriad theories, the Warren Commission, the government body appointed to investigate the assassination, concluded that Oswald acted alone. However, their findings did not silence the speculation. Oswald's behavior after the shooting, his murder 2 days later by nightclub owner Jack Ruby, and his claim of being a patsy, have only fueled the fire of conspiracy that still burns brightly today. Oswald never got his day in court, and his role in the assassination remains a point of contention. The question remains, was Lee Harvey Oswald the lone gunman, or was he just a pawn in a larger, more complex game? The mystery continues. What could be so top secret that even after 60 years, some files related to JFK's assassination are yet to be released? Picture this. It's the early 60s. President John F. Kennedy, a symbol of hope and change, is assassinated, leaving a nation in shock. The Warren Commission concludes that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone, but questions remain. The motive is unclear, and Oswald himself is later shot dead, adding another layer of mystery to an already complex narrative. Fast forward to today. We've seen the release of over 250,000 records related to JFK's assassination since 1992. Yet, each new document seems to add more questions than it answers. Is this a simple case of a lone gunman with a grudge, or is there a more sinister plot at hand? In 2021, the White House announced a delay in the release of long-classified JFK assassination records, citing the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. This delay, while justifiable on the grounds of national security, has only served to fuel conspiracy theories. After all, what could be so important, so sensitive, that it's still classified after all these years? Yet we must remember that each new document, each new piece of evidence, brings us one step closer to understanding the full picture. It forces us to reevaluate what we think we know, to question our preconceived notions. And while it's easy to get lost in the sea of theories and speculations, it's important to keep an open mind. The JFK assassination is a complex puzzle, with pieces scattered across decades and hidden in classified files. And as we continue to dig deeper, to unearth more information, we must be prepared to face whatever truths these unreleased files might hold. After all, the truth may be out there, but it seems we are yet to find it. So here we are decades later, still trying to piece together what really happened on that fateful day in Dallas. In the past 10 minutes, we've dived deep into the heart of one of history's most enduring enigmas: the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. We've sifted through the facts, the witness accounts, the official reports, and of course the countless theories that have risen from the ashes of that tragic day. We started with the mystery's inception, that chilling moment when the world stood still and a beloved leader fell. We took a closer look at the events of November 22, 1963, replaying the chilling sequence that unfolded in Dealey Plaza. We questioned the official narrative, as many have done before us. Was Lee Harvey Oswald truly the lone gunman, or was he, as he claimed, a mere patsy? This question has birthed a multitude of theories, from the plausible to the downright fantastical, each trying to fill in the gaps of the puzzle. Then, we delved into the unreleased files, the withheld documents that have fueled the flames of conspiracy theories for over 6 decades. Their delayed release, even in the face of a global pandemic, has only intensified the intrigue and speculation. The assassination of JFK remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of the 20th century. Theories have ranged from the involvement of the mafia, to the CIA, to the military-industrial complex, and even to extraterrestrials. Yet none have been able to provide a definitive answer, a full picture that satisfies all the queries and silences the doubts. In the end, the JFK assassination remains a mystery, a puzzle with missing pieces, a story with more questions than answers. And perhaps that's why it continues to captivate us, even today.